Hello, my name is Caroline Coenen. Our group chose to conduct a concept analysis of shame. I will discuss shame's background and significance, the meaning of shame in published works, the general purpose of conducting a concept analysis, and the reason our group chose to conduct analysis of shame. Human dignity is an understood subconscious moral compass that assists nurses in prioritizing actions. Doing the right thing is a common ethical phrase that validates human dignity in nursing practice. Shame is a total disregard of one's sense of dignity. It's a common subjective emotional response to such events as making errors, being wrong, experiencing mistreatment. Negative events, as such, are inevitable. Nurses' perception of these negative events are significant. There are different levels or degrees of shame. Normal shame is part of developmental maturity. Everyone experiences some sort of shame. Acute shame results in negative evaluation of the entire self. Thoughts of being defective, worthless, feeling small. There's no clear distinction between self and the negative event. Prolonged shame. Prolonged shame is associated with depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, and addiction. Shame resilience strategies need to be developed in order to minimize consequences of prolonged shame, reinstill a sense of dignity back into the nurse's practice. Shame's meaning in published works. According to Bynum and Goody, shame has been called many things: the elephant in the room, the unspeakable, soul-eating emotion. Everyone experiences shame, but no one really discusses it. Shame is defined as a subjective emotional response to such negative behavior as making mistakes, being incorrect, and treated inappropriately. Psychological research found shame correlates with the negative evaluation of the entire self. Individual fears she or he is damaged, worthless, broken, and the negative behavior defines her or him as a person. Research also suggests an association between shame and the ability of the individual to cope, empathize, feel forgiven. The individual is left with a post-error burnout, depression, lack of empathy, extreme difficulty with self-forgiveness. Based on the research found, shame-resilient strategies are imperative in order to overcome the detrimental effects of shame. Fraser and McLaughlin state, shame involves the perception that the whole self is thought to be bad. Shame closely resembles that of an antisocial response, such that reparative actions can't fix the flawed sense of self. According to their research, tools need to be developed to provide reliable and valid measures of reactions to shame, determine whether the degree of shame is intrinsic to the individual or caused by extrinsic variables, develop strategies to improve negative consequences of shame, such as simulated learning experiences or cognitive behavioral therapy. Cheryl Beck incorporates shame in her postpartum depression theory. Beck explained guilt occurs along with shame. Mother feels not happy about having a baby. Mother feels like she's not being a good mother. Just negative thoughts concerning her infant. In our culture, women are supposed to feel happy, look happy, act happy when they become a new mother. If they don't naturally feel this happiness, guilt and shame are felt. This negative self-perception results in the mother's inability to open up to others, therefore resulting in delay in diagnosing of postpartum depression and also prolongs much-needed interventions. Beck developed a postpartum depression screening scale, which utilizes guilt and shame as predictors and risk factors for screening. Beck's scale is considered a reliable and valid screening tool for the detection of postpartum depression. Concept analysis in general is the breaking down of a concept into similar parts in order to grasp the underlying meaning. Once the concept is understood on a basic level, an analytical comparison of similarities and differences can be performed. The purpose of a concept analysis is to enhance the understanding of the concept's meaning, to avoid any misunderstandings, to clarify the meaning of commonly used terms in nursing, and to standardize the concept's definition will strengthen the concept's substance. The results of the concept analysis can be used in developing research instruments or interview guides. A shame analysis was performed by our group because we wanted to bring awareness of shame's existence, recognize specific emotional responses when one feels shame, and being knowledgeable about the existence and detrimental effects of feeling shame is critical in one's ability to cope, remain empathetic, and forgive self. Nurses are constantly being pulled in new challenging environments. Their vulnerabilities are exposed. Potential for error is high. Develop positive behaviors are important when potential for feeling shame.